Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we're going to tackle a pretty wild idea. What if the solution to all our modern digital chaos isn't new at all? What if it's been sitting there for thousands of years, hidden in two ancient ethical systems?
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll get a real handle on the problem, this digital chaos we're all living in. Then, we're going to do a little time traveling, digging into two ancient approaches for a moral compass. And finally, we'll see how this ancient wisdom can give us a real practical path forward for today.
Right. Section 1. Let's really get our heads around the scale of the challenge we're facing. This isn't just about a few mean comments or some annoying trolls. We're talking about something much, much bigger, a full-blown ethical crisis. And this quote, man, it just nails it. We're living in digital chaos without ethics. See, the problem is we're always reacting. Our technology is moving at light speed, but our ethics are kind of stuck in the slow lane. We're always playing catch-up, just trying to clean up messes after they've already happened. And get this, the numbers are just staggering. 86%. That's how many internet users around the world say they've seen fake news. And here's the kicker. Most admit they've fallen for it. So this isn't some fringe problem, right? It's happening to almost everyone, and it's making it harder and harder to know what's even real anymore.
And this chaos, it has very real, very human costs. The stuff that happens online doesn't stay online. Cyberbullying victims are almost twice as likely to attempt suicide. Let that sink in. These aren't just statistics. These are devastating consequences that ripple out into the real world.
So, is it any surprise that almost all of us feel this anxiety? 92% of Americans are concerned about their data privacy online. That's basically everyone. We have this nagging feeling that we've lost control, that a part of us, our digital self, is just out there, and we don't know who has it or what they're doing with it. It's a really unsettling place to be. Okay, so if our modern way of thinking about ethics isn't cutting it, where do we look for answers? Well, this is where it gets interesting. What if we need to look backward?
I mean, that's the real question, right? Where do we find a moral compass for this brand new digital world? A lot of our traditional ethics, they were built for a world where you had to look someone in the eye. They just weren't designed for a space that's global, instant, and where anyone can be anonymous.
So we're going to look at two super powerful, time-tested systems. One is Confucianism from ancient China. The other is Judaism. Now, they come from totally different places, but you're about to see how they both offer some seriously profound wisdom that feels like it was written for today.
All right, let's dive into the Confucian approach first. The big idea here is a shift in focus. It's less about what are my individual rights and more about what are my responsibilities to other people. It's all about relationships.
Okay, at the heart of this is a concept called li. Now, you might see it translated as ritual or propriety, but it's way more than just being polite. Think of it like this. It's the idea that we can and should design our social world, our interactions, our spaces, to actively encourage people to be good and to promote harmony.
So how does that apply to the internet?
Well, instead of just a terms of service agreement that we all scroll past and click agree on, the idea of li would be to build ethics right into the code. We could literally design platforms where the easiest, most natural thing to do is to be respectful and constructive. Imagine that.
Then there's this other brilliant Confucian idea, zongming, or the rectification of names. The core of it is, words matter a lot. Confucius argued that chaos starts when we stop calling things by their proper names, and when people in certain roles, say a leader or a journalist, don't act like one.
Now think about how that maps directly onto our world. This ancient principle is a perfect tool for fighting misinformation. It's about demanding that things are what they say they are. It's about calling out fake identities and anonymous bots. And it's about demanding that we know what's going on inside those black box AI algorithms. It's about truth in labeling for everything. Okay, so that's the Confucian take. Now, let's switch gears and look at a different, but you'll see, very complementary framework from Jewish thought. This one isn't so much about social harmony.
It's built on a bedrock of responsibility and dignity. And a key concept here, a really central one, is kavod habriot. It basically means human dignity. But it's not just a nice idea. It's an absolute, non-negotiable duty to protect the worth of every single person. The tradition is so serious about this that it compares shaming someone publicly to murder. That's how important it is.
So you can see how this becomes a powerful guide for technology, right? It says we have to design everything, from privacy settings to AI chatbots, with human dignity as the #1 priority. It forces us to ask a simple, powerful question about every new app, every new algorithm. Does this honor people or does it degrade them?
And unfortunately, when we look at the numbers for cyberbullying, we can see this principle of human dignity is being violated on a massive scale every single day. And Jewish ethics has a specific term for that violation, lashon hara. It literally means evil speech. It's this ancient warning that's hyper-relevant today. It says that harmful speech, even if it's true, causes irreversible damage. Once it's out there, especially in the digital world where nothing disappears, you can't just take it back.
Okay, so we've looked at these two ancient, really powerful ways of thinking, but what happens when we bring them together? This is where things get really interesting.
Yet this incredible overlap, even though they start from completely different places. One's all about relational harmony, the other's about sacred duty. They both end up pointing to the same things. Things like justice, truth, responsibility, and community. And you know what? Those are the exact ingredients we need for a better, healthier digital world. And the best part is, this isn't just some high-level philosophy. This wisdom gives us a real, honest-to-goodness action plan. It breaks it down into 3 levels: what we can do as individuals, what the tech developers need to do, and what our policymakers have to do. It's a roadmap for everyone.
So, in the end, it all comes down to this one question. Are we going to build our digital world on purpose, with intention, using these timeless values as our guide, or are we just going to let it happen by accident and hope for the best? These ancient traditions tell us the choice is up to us.